In the world of American muscle cars, some machines roar with power, some shine with beauty, and some deliver the perfect balance of both. But then there are cars that become something more: symbols, cultural landmarks, chapters in the story of American identity. Few cars embody that rare transformation quite like the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Born during one of the most explosive eras in automotive design, the Trans Am did more than just roll out of the factory. It swaggered into history with an attitude that was part performance, part showmanship, and fully unforgettable. This is the story of the Firebird Trans Am, the rebel child of Pontiac, the racing-inspired coupe that became a Hollywood icon, and the car that redefined American cool for generations. The Firebird story begins in 1967, when Pontiac launched the original model as a direct competitor to the Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaro. This was the birth of the pony car wars, a time when American automakers realized that a new generation of youthful drivers wanted something sporty, stylish, and full of personality. The Firebird shared some structural DNA with the Chevy Camaro, but Pontiac refused to let their new creation become a simple sibling car. They wanted something sharper, something more upscale, something that carried the Pontiac identity, a brand known for performance before performance was even fashionable. While the base Firebird found its footing with respectable power and handling, Pontiac engineers had their sights on something more: a top-tier performance model that would bring racing heritage to the streets. In 1969, the world was introduced to the very first Trans Am, named after the SCCA's Trans-American Racing Series. And although Pontiac wasn't actually allowed to officially race in the series at the time, the name alone spoke volumes. The Trans Am wasn't just another trim package. It was a statement of intent. That first-year Trans Am was subtle by later standards. It came only in cameo white with Tyrol blue stripes and spoiler accents, wearing a small, and now iconic, fiberglass hood scoop. But beneath that modest exterior lay the heart of a performance animal: the Ram Air 3, and, for those willing to climb higher, the Ram Air 4. These engines, combined with suspension upgrades and a tighter chassis, made the 1969 Trans Am a handler's dream long before the muscle car world began to appreciate the value of corners and grip. Fun fact: Pontiac originally planned to build 5 different colors for the first Trans Am, but dropped the idea due to costs. Only 697 Trans Ams were built that year, making the 1969 model one of the rarest Trans Ams ever produced. But the Trans Am's true transformation came in 1970. With the second-generation Firebird, Pontiac created one of the most visually striking American sports cars ever to hit the road. Gone were the boxy lines of the 1960s. In their place emerged a low-slung, smooth-bodied, almost European-inspired touring machine. The long nose, the flowing fenders, the aggressive stance, everything about the second-generation Firebird made it look fast even when parked. And then came the hood. The shaker hood, a scoop mounted directly to the engine, poking through the hood cutout, wiggling with every rev, became a signature of the Trans Am. This wasn't just a styling piece for show. It was functional, feeding cool air into the V8. It was also a symbol, a declaration that the Trans Am was a driver's car, built for those who wanted to feel every vibration, every heartbeat of the engine. Fun fact: the shaker hood wasn't originally intended to shake. It was mounted so rigidly that early prototypes barely moved. Pontiac engineers loosened the mounts after realizing drivers loved seeing the engine's heartbeat through the hood. What began as an accident became a Trans Am trademark. Throughout the early 1970s, the Trans Am continued to evolve. Engines like the 400 Ram Air 3, the 455 HO, and eventually the Super Duty 455 made the car one of the most capable performers of its time. Car magazines praised its handling, its braking, and its ability to remain stable at high speeds. A remarkable feat when many muscle cars were losing their edge due to tightening regulations. The SD455, introduced in 1973, was a marvel of engineering: strengthened internals, improved heads, racing-bred design. It became one of the last great engines of the classic muscle era. Fun fact: due to emissions laws, Pontiac had to detune the SD455 before release. Even in detuned form, it outperformed nearly every American car of its era. The full-power SD455 prototypes are now the stuff of legend, rumored to produce well over 500 horsepower. But nothing, absolutely nothing, would cement the Trans Am's place in American culture like what happened in 1977. That year, a film hit theaters starring Burt Reynolds, a black cowboy hat, a gleaming mustache, and a black and gold Pontiac Trans Am, known simply as the Bandit.